Welcome back to Toffee TV. Me and Ped here with David and Ronnie talking about everyone's expectations for the up-and-coming season. Ped, I'm going to come to you because if I ask these two, the lights will have gone out and everything. At this moment in time, obviously only Stekelenburg and Idrissa Gueye brought in. So as it stands today, what are your expectations for the coming season?
They're quite low, let's be honest. But that's not a negative thing. I was never sort of thinking that Koeman coming in was just suddenly going to change us. I did think it'd be a slow process. The amount of time he's had with the players, the player turnover we had to do, and also because last season was just so bad. So bad. Anyone who watches any of the videos from last season will know how bad it was. It was so bad. And there's a lot to change. And I think it'll be something that'll take the first part of the season to work into a lot of, even the good players who take it on board. It's not going to be a natural fit straight away. So I think it's going to take time. And when we look at the other clubs in the league as well, and all the new managers and all the new players, it's going to be difficult. But I do think that we're going to finish in the top half, and I just hope that the change occurs. So by the time we get to the FA Cup, we'll be in a good position to have a go for that as well. Right. So I'm positive, but I haven't got unrealistic expectations. I think it's going to take time.
If I had to put you on the spot now and just say today, league position?
8th. Let's just say 8th.
Yeah, fair play. Ronnie, for you, as it stands at the moment?
No, I'm similar to Ped, and that's scary. I was going to say 8 as well, Ped. So, you're not just good looking as well, lad. No, I think that's what you've got to do. And again, you want to aim high, obviously, but I'm similar to Ped over silverware. Down the years, the teams that have actually won the FA Cup is unbelievable in the League Cup. And I think we can target that. We're not in Europe. If we get in the top 8, that's a good start. But I think we should target one of the cups and really go for that. I think we have a good cup run. And then hopefully, the 12 months, 2 transfer windows, he can do something about it. And we'll know better in 3 weeks, obviously, we've got in and who we haven't. But, there's a lot of optimism, I think, over the kids. I think Davis and a few others, Aldgate. And you can look at, sort of, the older ones, shall we say. I mean, 6 left, in Aussie, Ibo, Pina. We haven't replaced them. And that's why I said the end of last season, we should have done it far earlier to get rid of Martinez. And I think Koeman is feeling the effects of that. But we've still got to, get on with it, if you know what I mean. But I just think 8th and a really good cup win, I would say for the first season will be a decent shout.
How many players you look with the 3 weeks ago? What do you think? How many would you be happy
with?
Well,
three desperately. I'd go for 5. Yeah. I really would. But if we get a couple in, and as I said, with not just make weight. I mean, the Nias one was God. I think we're going to be scared to ever get stung again. But you've got to take a chance. With money. And as I say, a £15 million player. I mean, I went from Liverpool with a handful of games for 15 million. Yeah. And it's gone crazy. Pogba is not worth 100 million, not in a million years. No. But that's the way football's gone. And I think the next 3 weeks is going to be, even worse. But I just hope we can get them in, and maybe for 1 or 2 million. Like using Ashley Williams as an example, from 10 million to 15, there's not that much difference. But get them in, and you might sack a couple of Welsh lads, Gareth Bale or Ramsey. Well, but you know what I mean. But your first one's vital. Get one in, and then the next one. And I still think a mega striker. I'm not saying they'll keep Lukaku, but if you get someone in, think, hang on, he can score 20 goals. I could score 25, 30 here. You won't be far short. Thing, yeah. But your whole mentality then changes, and I think supporters will get a massive boost as well. As well as the team.
David, same question to you. Expectations?
I think you've got to look at the 3-year window, not just the first year. So look at the 3-year window, and Koeman's got a 3-year. I'm not saying he's going to be here for all 3 years, but he's got a 3-year contract. In the first year, and it's a slow process, but it's got to be progress during that time. In the first season, we've got to bed the players in. We've got to get these new guys in. We've lost the pre-season. We've got to bed them in. It's got to be a smooth transition into putting his team together. 8th is fine with me, and a derby win would be beautiful. A derby win at Anfield. It's 19 years since Kevin Campbell won us at
I'll settle for for 15th and a derby double.
Well, let's go with a derby win in the first year and a good run at the League Cup. I mean, as you know, last time, a good run at the League Cup. But I think that is part of the first year. When you look at the second year, you've got to be looking at tracking West Ham and Tottenham. They're in our spot. They're in our 6th spot in the league.
And Leicester.
Well, no, let's just look at West Ham and Tottenham. They're well-organised clubs. They have big stadiums. They're in London. They can attract people. They're our competition, right? And if we don't catch them soon, I know West Ham, you never think we'll be talking about catching West Ham, but if we don't overtake them soon, we're in trouble. So in the second season, we've got to be getting into the top 6 and we've got to have that spot that they would have, that they think they would have. And then another derby win, maybe no silverware, because in the next season and in the third season, we're looking at the top 4. 2 derby wins and a happy dance all along Walton Lane.
Yeah, but I think as well, David, I watched the West Ham game. I mean, that stadium looks magnificent. I mean, the pitch is far away. But we should be better than West Ham.
Of course we should.
You know,
but
this is what I'm saying about...
football's changed.
But this is where Mashiri's got us do the ground. Honestly, I told you, what did I say to you when we talked about the other day? He should have been on the board years ago. When I showed him without forward thinking, knows about Everton. Definitely. Your heart's in the right place, and
but the thing is, you got to target what it is. We got to target the spot that West Ham and Tottenham are looking at.
No, I fully agree.
That's the spot.
That's
how we measure our success.
Spurs think they're going to win the league.
They're in a new ground. That's what we've got to do.
And that goes along with it. And the shirt sponsor, like I said, at the end of the season, we've got to have a shirt sponsor that we know.
I do think a lot of that is happening, but unfortunately, it's happening behind
the
scenes, isn't it? And the stadium.
And can I just say, I mean, I know people, and this isn't so I get a free season ticket for next year, but I do think that the job that our senior management does off the pitch, do a first-class job. I really, really do. I mean, I know them, I'm friends with them. I think they're making tremendous progress from where we were, say, 5-6 years ago, when we were run like a Tesco's. Now we're run like a proper company with a good staff, motivated staff, quality people behind the scenes. I know they make mistakes, right? But nowhere near as many mistakes that has been made in the past. And I think that's a big building block for having a professional organisation for the future. I think we've got the people in place to move us forward.
But unfortunately, we're still playing catch-up, aren't we? Because of those other people's mistakes.
Of course we are. No, of course we are. But I would say, you know, I used to always say to people about, would you rather have, say, Elstone, or would you ever have at Liverpool? Well, I'd go for Elstone. It's got a lot more savvy about it.
I'm going to plead the fifth on that one, I think.
Well, you can do, but I know them maybe better than that. Would you go with Klopp, or would you go with our man?
Again, I might need to plead the fifth on that one as well.
I think of another question.
I'm gonna terminate this before we all fall out.
A ground on the dock.
Yeah,
well,
go for that, Ped.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
No, but that's
ground on
what
the
we've
dock.
got
It
to
depends where we are on the dock.
No, but that's
there's only one place on the dock left.
A ground on the dock has got to be a part of the cultural part of the city, not stuck up out by the Titanic Hotel in the wasteland.
That's the only place. Well, I'll say, David, what I would say to you is, and you've been out this city for, I know you come back, but the city is growing out so quickly that by the time Everton build that stadium, that will very much be part of Liverpool City Centre.
That's reassuring.
And when you look at the Alts, if you think that out at the dock in the wastelands, when you see the alternate where they want to put it,
honestly, really the city is growing such a way that if that stadium's built where they want to build it, that is going to be a key part of Liverpool City Centre. Where by the time it's built, because Liverpool City Centre is so small and it's growing so big now that it is going to be a key part.
I think for me, where I stand at the moment is, again, I think top 8's not beyond us. I do, even now. I still think we'll go up 3 places just by having someone in the dugout that actually knows how to play the game and knows what to demand and not just sugarcoat rubbish. I really do. I think we're going to go up anyway. I think we're crying out for a centre forward, 2 centre forwards. I can see him getting that right. So I think we'll finish above West Ham. I'm saying it right now, even now.
Do you think we'll win a trophy?
I've been saying we'll win one for 20 years, 21 years, so I don't know. I think we've got it. Why not? We should have won one last year. We should have won one.
It would be an
season.
incredible boost to us.
Oh, it'd be unbelievable.
You know, I mean, what
the League Cup is the one. The League Cup is the one, but again, you need that little rubber degree. We got to the semi.
We're 3-1 up.
The FA Cup, we should have won.
But let me just say, Ronny nearly pulled off the League Cup for us.
I blame Ronny. If we wouldn't have won it.
No.
Then we'd have won it. Then we'd have won it 8 times.
It'd have been over. No, but it is. But that's how close it's been. But again, going back to if we'd have got rid of Martinez, I still think we'd have beat Man United.
Yeah, definitely.
The players come out totally different. I don't think it was Martinez. I think it was the players who done it.
Unsworth and Royal.
Yeah.
So
you know, you've had it where you know, we're so close, but similar. Off the field, we have got to get it sorted. You know, the ground. Joe Anderson's, you know, said lovely things about what he wants to do, but we've just got to come up with something. And Managerial again, very wealthy man, but he's got to start showing it. We've really got to say over the next number of years, you know, we're moving to a new ground, because we would absolutely jump over Liverpool. They've got an absolutely massive main stand now. If we get one on the docks, we've gazumped them. Absolutely fantastic.
You can see that new stand from Birkenhead.
Oh,
you can see it from the East Lancs Road.
Yeah.
It's quite
You can see oil rigs from Birkenhead. So.
But it is deep. The stand itself is deep. I mean, it must be 50 yards deep, 150 feet deep. So who knows how many levels they've got on it, and what kind of catering and what kind of hospitality.
It's an ideal opportunity for us, David, isn't it? You know, since the 60s really, or like the 80s, we were very successful. But the 60s, 70s, when John Moores was there, you know, with the Millionaire Club. But it's a great statement if we put out that we're going to move the ground to there. This is what we're going to do. And you know, supporters will bite the bullet for 12 months, 2 years to say that's what we're building up to. Now West Ham, all right, they've got it on a plate because they're only paying £2 million rent, but they've moved into a massive stadium. Fantastic. They've got your Payet. You know, they've got a good side. But we should be, without a shadow of a doubt, better than them. And we've got to aim for better than that. But we've got to start doing it off the park as well. Yeah. You know, besides getting players in, the ground's got to be major, absolutely major.
We can pick this momentum right back up. It was flying along 3 weeks ago. Now it's hit a wall. We can pick this.
You know what one of the problems was though? It was this £100 million figure that was thrown out about we've got 100 million.
The war chest.
We've got £100 million to spend, and everyone just went, "Oh, this is going to be fantastic. We're going to be." We thought we'd be talking about new signings like every other day. To be honest, that's the way it felt. Because it's going.
Do you think that a billionaire throws his money away?
No, but they use their money, don't they?
I think he's very careful in the way in which he invests. He's demonstrated his ambition. You know, there was a problem in bringing on board the manager, having to pay compensation, get it done. It was the same with the director of football. They wanted compensation, get it done. You know, he's shown that he's determined to bring people on, that money doesn't stand in the way. But I think he's expecting value for money with the signings.
Yeah, maybe it's a case of. I mean, you know more about this, but a lot of these people who go in and spend the money, a lot of times it's not their money, is it? They're just using the money that the club will produce itself in a very clever way. Yeah. Now maybe he's gone in and found that we don't make enough money to justify the and he's trying to change all that.
Palace and Stoke are spending more than us.
Yeah.
You know, you go do us a favour.
I honestly think
you've got more money at Palace and Stoke than us. I mean, we've got bigger fan base than the pair of them put together.
I think come September the 1st, we will adapt. For me, personally, I
believe hopefully, we won't be talking like this next time around. But again, it is worrying.
Can I tell you, the last time I was here, I got the plane back after your dinner at the Devonshire. I got the plane back the next day, and I got sat next to a fan of Southampton. He was a supporter of Southampton. Of course, we didn't have Coleman then, but and this guy was comparing Southampton and Swansea to us. Yeah. To me, an Evertonian. Yeah. You know, I mean, I was just horrified, and I listened to him, and I know, and he said, "Well, what is it about? How why isn't Everton? Shouldn't they be compared with Southampton and Swansea?" Well, I said, 114 years in the top flight, 9 championships, God knows how many second, how many whatever, and what have you got? 60 years between you and diddly squat.
Yeah.
And I got so angry, it come out to me so much that the guy got up and he moved to a different part of the plane to sit next to a woman with a crying kid.
Well, that says it all, doesn't like.
But it does say it all.
Didn't you give him the book? Just say, look, I don't want to talk about it. Just read everything crazy, and then you know what I'm trying to say. I didn't,
but I told him that the story, his ignorance, let me say, will be included in the book.
The problem is, though, that's 24 years of mismanagement in the Premier League. because especially what we do in these videos and the people we deal with, they don't see past 1992 because we have a generation now who all they've known is the Premier League, and that's what they see Everton as, and that's because for 20. I've just said this on another video in there. We had a man who was one of 5 men who walked into a hotel room who created the Premier League, and then we sat back and did nothing, and then suddenly one day someone woke up while Man United were building giant stands and Chelsea were getting bought out by Russian billionaires. Someone realised that what you had to do to be in the Premier League, and we are so far behind everyone else that those other people feel like we are just a Southampton or because
if you're a kid, or if you're under 30, all you've known Everton to be really is we battled relegation for a few, or we flirted with the bottom half. Then we had a manager who, and David Moyes, I'm not rewriting history, David Moyes done a fantastic job with what he had, to get told you get £5 million a year in the Premier League, which is ridiculous, but that's a different story. But he'd done really well, what he'd done really well was selling himself and telling everyone who listened that Everton are punching above the weight trying to finish 6th. We had a captain in Phil Neville who said if Everton finished 10th, they've done well. What kind of... So you get people listening to that going, well, they're other people who are working there and playing for them are telling you that that's okay. And you've got us who've seen a different Everton going, that's what a load of rubbish that is. We should be fighting for this. We've won with the 4th most successful team, with the first person to have won. And you can reel off all the Everton
again, those statements are saving the jobs, aren't they? You're not putting pressure on yourself as a manager and as a player. But
Ronny,
again, going back to the board, it's up to the board and the owner.
We were the first football club to sell tickets through mobile phone text, don't you know?
That was one of the first we put on. No, but that's the thing. No, listen, you do what you do, and you don't doubt people in jobs, but we were very good at underselling ourselves, and that's what the problem has been for me.
If luck had gone the other way, we could be down in the Championship with the Blackburns and the likes. We were very lucky to stay up.
But we were very lucky to stay up because of mismanagement, Dave, because don't forget, we went from being the champions to finishing 4th. Everyone forgets about Colin Harvey. We were 4th and we were 6th. And then our Kendall come in and we bobbed down, but we didn't sanction £1.5 million for Dion Dublin. And so Howard left. So that was a problem again. Then Joe come in and we won the... Mike Walker...
I think
yeah, but if you go through...
let's not rewrite history here. Right, from the days of from Ronnie's days, from the Alan Ball era, we had 3 good seasons. That's all we've ever had. It's 3 good seasons from when Alan Ball left.
To now?
To now, yeah.
Well,
how many seasons? How many seasons have we finished above Liverpool?
I think the difference is
though.
Let me just finish.
We were runners up.
We
were runners
up
in the 70s, weren't we? 17. That one was it?
It's what your expectation is of a good season.
No, in the league.
But finishing above Liverpool would be a good one, wouldn't it?
I don't see that as a good season.
78.
Right.
Then we had 84. We had 7.
We had 3 good. No, I'm saying we had 3 good seasons. We had 3. Yeah, we should have won. We should have won it. We had it all sewn up, but we didn't. We got the jitters. The Everton jitters, let's say. But really, the blip wasn't the things that you mentioned. The blip was our good seasons. We've been in decline for a long time. We've been in decline. I'm not saying because we sold Alan Ball, but from that period when we could buy anyone, and they come to Everton. Alan Ball was the best footballer in the World Cup. He was the most attractive person. He could have picked the teams that any team he could have played for. And who did he come to? He came to us. He didn't come to us because of the money. He'd done a deal with Don Revie, to go to Leeds. He come to us because
you got to go to play. It's in all the play. The Alan Ball play.
Is it really?
Have I mentioned that we have?
Mentioned it.
No.
We'll do that at the end.
What I'm saying is there's been times where we can say, well, we were lucky. We could have gone down against Wimbledon. We could have gone down against Coventry. We could have, but if we'd have done things differently, we wouldn't have been going down because we started in the 92 Premier League.
We were invited into the Big 5. We were the small club in the Big 5 that got invited in. Our problem was let me just say,
still the 4th most successful.
Our problem was we lost John Moores. right? And we lost John Moore's influence, and we lost the ability to draw on John Moores. John Moores wasn't a hands-off guy. He ran the club.
Yeah.
He had the money to run the club. He had the ambition to. He loved Everton.
Yeah,
he loved it.
No,
He could sit here, put him in the corner
He was the
here,
perfect
and he
owner,
could.
wasn't he?
He was the perfect
Loved it.
owner. You know, he was one of the richest men in the world at the time. But he come into Goodison to make sure everything was done right, and he did things right. And then he got sick, he got old, he got sick and whatever. And he was an autocrat. He told people what to do. They didn't necessarily have to think for themselves. And when he disappeared, we had this vacuum. And we had that vacuum for a long, long time. And maybe we've had the vacuum since until Farhad Moshiri's come in a sense.
Absolutely.
So we've been in decline. My point is, we've been in decline for a long time. You know, the Everton that I loved, the Everton of my childhood, maybe it disappeared with Alan Ball.
I understand what you're saying. One thing I would say is that the expectation of what is a poor season has changed, hasn't it? Because in the 70s, if Everton finished fourth, that was seen as a bad season.
Colin got fired.
Exactly.
For
so then
finishing fourth.
and then you get there, and then you get to the end of the 80s, we finished fourth, and that's bad. But then suddenly the expectations, well, sixth is now bad, now eighth is, and then now it's like, well, we'll be happy we finished eighth. So the expectations have dropped. We're never being as high as we probably were in the the late 60s as a club. But the expectation has disappeared.
When you look at it, Ped, think about it. Leicester, in next to no time, have won the Prem.
Yeah.
You know, not vast amounts of money, 27,000 capacity. You know, Leicester might do awful this season. I watched, as I say, against Man United. I thought you should have beat them. You know, real big pluses. So it's your network, it's who you sign, a manager that knows what he's talking about and doing, and all the players do. And will go out and die for the shirt. That's all Leicester do. Now, do you want to have less than that for any time an Everton player puts a shirt on? But we do. And that's why the last couple of seasons, when a manager is telling you, you've done well today, was absolutely, and I won't swear, do us a favour. And that's what really drains me. And as I say, I'm underage, and I've got to obviously try to be a little bit impartial, shall we say, and it gets hard. So supporters watching that dross, and it was dross at times, it really was. I'll go back to the board and the owner and Bill. Bill's done fantastic for the club in certain ways. But I keep saying about yourself, he needs a board round him that'll say, I think you're wrong there, Bill. And not just a yes man and nod. Hang on, David. But the more that you see it, nobody ever again can say, he's got 300 million to spend and he's only got 2 bob. He's Leicester and you can be Chelsea, Man United, whoever, your Pogba's and all this. So that blows it out the water. And he done it so quickly. Now, all right, if Welsh comes along and, does half what he done at Leicester, that'll do me. But, that maybe it'll take time. But as I say, Ranieri wasn't there that long. And he got a couple of players in, and it just went from Leicester, will he survive this year, to winning.
Did you play,
did you
play in the same team as Mickey Walsh?
No, I didn't.
Did Mickey come after you?
I actually left. I went to Knockbreda, and my first home game as part of the deal, cut that, was coming back to Goodison, and we had a good crowd turnout, and that was Mickey Walsh's first game. And I think it was.
So you played against him?
Against him in that, in that game. But
so you played against Everton?
Well, I did, mate. It was. I'm funny enough.
Can we just?
But anyway, we lost 4-2 in the end. But
who's we?
But it's only
who's we? Who's we?
Knockbreda. The Dutch come over and you're like, Anyway, it was great to come back. I got a great reception, which was fantastic. But I say, this is Everton, and you're right what you're pointing out in the history of the club. But I still think now you can do better. And Leicester, for me, is the template. You don't need vast amounts of money.
Just clarify something you made. You said finishing 8th. Our ambition is to finish it. It's not our ambition.
No, but it's a lot of people's.
It's the reality at the moment of finishing 8th. Our ambition is to win the damn thing.
But I don't think that is.
If we're entering a competition,
I think that was the wrong word. That.
Is that if we're entering a competition?
I think that's where you think we're going to finish.
No, but I honestly think.
But it's shocking.
But I don't think it is anymore. I mean, Nev says it all the time. The club should aspire to finish first. The club don't aspire to finish first, and a lot of fans follow that, and that has been the way it's been for most of the Premier League era. That some people say we should be winning it, and they get laughed at, and it's only now because Leicester have won it where Nev has sort of been, see, I told you. But the club for too long have said finishing top 6 or 7's fine, where it should have been every season. No, we're going to try and win it, because surely that's the point.
But it's your Harry Redknapp scenario, isn't it? You know, every team that you play against is Real Madrid. You know, what a team, what a team. If we stay in the league, we've done unbelievable. So chairman and supporters think, well, he knows what he's talking about. But then you just think again, he's looking after his own job.
I looked at...
If I finished any higher than 15th, I've done fantastic.
I looked at... We beat MK Dons the other week, 3-1. And he asked Koeman after the game, you know, Darren was interviewing, said, good result, good workout. And he was like, no, I wasn't impressed. You know, we need to pass it better. We didn't work hard enough. We just won 3-1. I heard our manager last season, some disgusting performances, telling me I'd just watched a phenomenal football match, and we were outstanding. We played Southampton at home in April, and it was dreadful, and we got a point out of it. And we had Roberto Martinez standing there saying, what an incredible display from us today. We were phenomenal. And Ronald Koeman come out from Southampton and said...
I used to listen to all the interviews, and he actually came out in an interview when we got beat 3-0. And the first question, and the lads are all around me, was, you must be disappointed, Roberto, with that result today. He turned round and said, disappointed. And he went on virtually about, we forced a corner in the second half. Yeah. We had a throw-in down.
We made a phenomenal throw-in.
Well, everyone started looking at me as if they say, what's he going on? I said, we get that every week. Now, again, if players are listening to that, when I go back saying in our day, we wouldn't have put up with it, because we'd have turned around to him and say, what are you talking about? I think there's too many yes men too happy to pick the wages up on a Thursday or every month, the way it is, instead of having ambition and start, doubting the manager and saying, well, I think you're wrong. And going back to Leicester again, he's got the right players again. And if you watched him yesterday, Kante's gone, fantastic player. He's got another lad in, you mentioned Musa, who looks the part, mate. He really does. And I'm thinking, there's Ranieri on nowhere near what the other managers are on, and is competing. Don't you think that
that people told Martinez what was going wrong, and he just didn't listen, or he got rid of him? You know, don't you think that?
No, a couple of days.
I don't think he listened.
I think Morales
to people, and I think he didn't understand the football club. He didn't understand the big football club, which is what we are. And fans we're not Wigan, we're not Swansea. We know football. We've seen some damn good football in our time. Sorry for the language. And we and
good football or
Martinez, Roberto Martinez. We do know good football, and we appreciate good football. We're brought up on it, but both the stuff we play ourselves and that's played against us as well. And I don't think he thought he could just soft soap us with all the spin, all the PR spin, and we're just not that. But
we had it with our discussion, David. What happens in the boardroom? You go in once a month, give your outlook of the next month, what happened the previous month. Do us a favour. Is it, how many lumps in your coffee and then we'll all get off? Yeah. Or do you want a little top up on your vodka? You do us a favour, and that's where you need, and again, not because you're a friend of mine, you need people on the board who say it how it is. And again, you're the soundboard, you can come in, and if Mashiri, whoever it is, can say, David, you're talking a load of nonsense. Or, I think I'll take that point.
I think there should
but I think it's gone on too long where Martinez has pulled the strings instead of the other way around where it's the owner who goes, hey, mate,
I think it went before that.
Yeah, that was Moyes created that.
Moyes pulled the strings. Yeah. We were so lucky to have David there, who I think did a great job, and I think he was a great manager. Maybe not quite as good as he thought he was, but I think he was a great manager, and I think he'll do a job at Sunderland.
Which proved in his next two jobs.
I think he'll do a good job at Sunderland.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think he had tremendous power. I mean, I always used to be like, Moyes wins a couple of games and he was the messiah. Lose a game and Bill was at fault for being poor. And I think Moyes had a lot of control over what went on. He'd earned it during that time, but he had too much of it.
That's held us back, hasn't it? That really has held us back.
In the long term, it held us back. Yeah. We no longer struggle for relegation. He got us out of that mess that we should never have been in, but we never moved forward. And we didn't move forward under Martinez either.
Yeah.
Well, we moved one way.
Sideways
backwards.
So, can I ask you two now to leave and we'll just carry on? Unless you've got something to say.
I can't, you know what? I can't even remember what the question I asked you about 3 hours ago. That's the expectations.
Can I just ask you a couple of questions? Who do you fancy for the league then?
I'll go first. I think Conte's going to do great. I think Chelsea. I think Man United's got too much. I just watched Man City again. I think Pep Guardiola, they all think he's the Messiah, but went to Bayern Munich. I don't think he thought what he was going to do. So I think coming here, again, is going to be a different kettle of fish when you're playing at Goodison, Stoke, you know, all these type of different ways to play. But I think Conte was one of the best managers in the Euros. I thought Italy played fantastic. I think if he gets a couple of the Juve lads in, I think they'll really take off, and I think he'll get the best out of, you know, whether Oscar stays or a few others. But I've been watching them in pre-season, and they look hungry. And Willian and all them, they're all good players. So I'll go for Chelsea. David?
I'll go with Chelsea and Liverpool. I think Liverpool are just.
I'll take your first part of that
your
question.
first answer.
And hang on, have you been on the sherry?
I was going to qualify.
You're going to get a breathalyzer after
I
this.
think they're. You know how jammy they are.
Yeah. Oh, hang on, David. No, I don't know that. Yeah. Going back to my granddad's day. Yeah.
But I do think, and they normally get what they want. No, I think that they may. I think they've got a very good organisation there. And I hate to say it, but I think they could have a good year.
But they've got a way to play, haven't they?
But the Chelsea team, I think, is likely to win it hands down. Yeah. The only problem I have with Chelsea is that maybe the defence may creak a little bit. You know, they've got.
Well, I think with the Juve lads, he's after them, but I mean, he's got 3 weeks to go. I think with Abramovich, he'll just twist his arm and get them in. But I just think he'll get better out the players. I thought they underperformed last year. I thought Mourinho, no excuses, deserved the sack. I thought they were really, really poor. I think he lost the dressing room. I think he thought, you know, you're saying the same things. We've heard all this before. They got worse and worse and worse. And again, someone, well, maybe not with his ego, but for the want of a better word, he wouldn't change. He was too stubborn and kept going and doing interviews where you're thinking, hang on, are you related to Martin?
Who do you think would go down? The teams
relegation. Well, I think big ones. Honestly,
was he supposed to get his turn?
Oh, sorry, Ped.
It doesn't matter. You can talk some other
I think
week.
Man United are going to piss it, but that's just me.
Man United?
Yeah, I think they're going to.
All right, good job.
I think.
Good job. You never said a lot there.
City will win it by about 12.
Now, who do you think will go down?
Well, the three. No, it won't be Man United. I won't see them going down. No, I think
the three that come up.
The three, yeah, I think it'd be really on the cards. Hull for me, I haven't got a manager yet. I think they'll really struggle. I think they could go down with record points or least points. Looking at even Bournemouth and them for this year, they done fantastic last year. Second season syndrome. People find you out. Looking at but I really do think. I think the usual candidates really. I think West Brom. Although Pulis has signed another couple of big name strikers, but honestly, I just think from last season to this, anyone like Newcastle and Aston Villa did. I think before that everyone would say Aston Villa may struggle, but I don't think anyone thought Newcastle were getting relegated, and they did. And then this season, if the three main clubs stay up, that come up, the pressure's going to be on so much,
because the
Watford did well, Bournemouth did well, so you're looking at 6 clubs
who's going to get dragged into that?
I think Watford will go.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Can I just say what a great job
you two do?
Can I just
Palace?
shut them up?
Throw Palace in.
Palace, say that.
I'm giving a compliment here.
Sorry. Yep.
I think you two guys do a fantastic job for the Everton family. Getting this out, getting these types of things together.
Yeah.
I know you make a lot of money from it. And I am thinking about investing it. But I do want to. I think the 12,000.
Is our fee going up then?
Yeah. Ronny, you can have a percentage of what we get.
Of the 12,000 people who are out there, and hopefully some of them are going to buy my book.
Are they going to double the backs?
I do think you do a fantastic job, and I'd just like to put that on record.
No, you do.
Thank you very much.
No, I'll go along with that as well.
I don't know where to go with that.
David, have you got anything else to talk about? Have you got anything else on your sheet?
No, we haven't started yet. We're going to start after.
Oh, you're doing your other one. Ronny, anything that you want to say?
No, well, I think next year we're going to do a book, David. I think we'll do one. To be funny.
I think we should do
No, I do.
We'll do a funny one.
And I think we'll start...
we'll get these two.
Maybe not Toffee TV. We'll start something else.
You start a competition.
Yeah. Others will do it. You may as well.
No, they do great. I'm only joking as always, but get to the 12,000, kick on, go for
I'm waiting to be asked to be a compare for
But
one of your nights.
it's a great outlook, Ronny. Well, David is actually, I couldn't believe what he asked me for, what he does for me, and as a good friend. He emailed me from Arizona, and he said, I'm coming over, here's the date, blah, blah, blah. I've sat in the main stand with Dixie Dean, Harry Catterick, Howard Kendall, but I've never done it with Ronny Goodlass. So I went, well, no problem, I'll sort your tickets. And he went, no, when you're doing the radio. So we done a game, didn't we?
Yeah,
on the radio, and
it's brilliant.
We done a talk, done blah, 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 but it was brilliant. And as I say...
it's one of those privileges in life when you get to sit with your heroes and your mates. And the thing is, I've sat next to Mike Lyons, and Mike's like this, he kicks every ball. He's worse. He works earphones.
Yeah. I've never... everyone says to me, I've never swore on it. Touch wood, I don't do it this season. But it's a try. It really is watching Everton week in and week out. But
you're
hopefully
passionate.
Hopefully I'm impressed for you. Well, I am.
You're
David,
knowledgeable,
I
and
mean,
you're passionate, and that's all you can ask,
well, it never dies. As I say, we're
I
born
think these two lads have gone now. We are on our own here, Ronny. We might as well just switch this thing off. And,
you just can carry on.
It's lovely to be back.
He's got to get off and do the dishes and clean the house, so he's got to get off.
I did it once, and they never asked me back to do it again.
Well, there you go.
That says it all. And that wasn't washed, this is in my house. Right, let us know what you think in the comments section below, your expectations ahead of the new season.
Oh, big thanks to Ronny, big thanks to David.
Cheers, Baz.
Cheers,
Baz.
Thank you.
Two Everton legends, and Ronny Goodlass and David France in the studio!
He's gone there.
Boom.
Look out for all the videos we've done this week, and we'll catch you next time on Toffee TV.
The Baz way.